How can Republicans call out Hunter Biden when Ivonka and Jared and Eric are openly bragging about committing fraud and taking money from criminals and foreign oligarchs? Check this out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Well, this is fascinating. The CIA and the FBI both notified America, and they had notified the Senate Intelligence Committee and the Senate Homeland Security Committee. The Homeland Security Committee is chaired by Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, I believe, or it's a committee that has very similar power. That there was a Russian oligarch, or excuse me, a Ukrainian oligarch who was channeling information from Russian intelligence into the United States for the purposes of harming Joe Biden, and that intelligence had to do, by and large, with Hunter Biden, and it really wasn't intelligence. It was just innuendo and smears and things like this. Ron Johnson released his report yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. This 87-page report. The headline in the papers in Wisconsin was, Ron Johnson's report finds no evidence that, that Joe Biden did anything wrong. And that's basically what the report does conclude. There is no specific, here's what he did wrong. Instead, it's like, well, if this happened and that happened, then maybe this was going on. And it turns out that most of the information that Ron Johnson has been passing along has been coming straight out of Russian intelligence. In fact, the CIA and the FBI have even identified the person who is passing it along to Senator Johnson, which, if I lived in Wisconsin, would, raise a lot of flags for me. I mean, what the hell is going on with this? But it also raises the question, as this thing, Hunter Biden, to the extent that Republicans can succeed, and they're trying really hard over on Fox News and on Right-Wing Hate Radio. It's all Hunter Biden all the time. To the extent that they can use this to smear Joe Biden, how should Joe respond? Or, what should we, how should we reply? I had a guy call yesterday and he was like, well, Hunter Biden, and, this company in China and Hunter Biden this and Hunter Biden that. And at that time, basically what I said was, well, if there's something wrong there, let's have an investigation. But, I'm not seeing anything wrong here. I'm seeing something embarrassing, something that doesn't look good. Hunter Biden shouldn't have taken that position. I don't think he would have gotten that position if his dad wasn't VP. And he has as much as said that. But that doesn't mean that he did something illegal. It means he did something stupid. But that's a very different thing, I think, from Don Jr. and Eric and Ivonka, or at least Don Jr. and Eric, we have on the record bragging to the media that their company is supported by money from Russian criminals, Russian oligarchs. I mean, they're bragging about it. It doesn't have anything to do with, there are serious, Eric Trump has been ordered to testify in an investigation before the election. I think it was October 8th that he has to testify in New York about, criminal fraud in their accounting practices, that they have been engaging in tax fraud and bank fraud for years. Inflating their assets when they're asking for loans, deflating the value of their assets when they're paying their taxes. That's against the law. That's what John Dillinger went to prison for. And that's why Donald Trump, who is losing the election right now, every poll shows Donald Trump is losing the election and losing massively. And that's why Donald Trump is saying, I'm not even going to count the votes. We shouldn't count these mail-in ballots. We shouldn't count these votes here. We should have the states just give the Electoral College to me. We should have a continuation rather than a peaceful transfer of power. The reason he's saying all these things, the reason he's got us all running around chasing our tails, is because he knows he's losing the election. And if he loses the election, he's going to go to prison. And his kids may too, because they have been involved in crimes that have been laid out in the pages of our nation's newspapers. The New York Times did a 4 or 5 part investigation that I believe won them the Pulitzer Prize a couple of years ago. This is what got Mary Trump all activated. She didn't realize that Donald, her Uncle Don, had ripped off her dad. And she knew something hinky was going on, but she didn't know what it was. And the New York Times laid it out, and they said, here's the deal. He told the American public when he was running for president that he got a $1 million loan from his dad. Well, that was a lie. He took over $400 million from his father's estate, which would be, in today's money, a couple $1 billion, at least $1 billion. He took over $400 million fraudulently. He ripped off his own brother. And his kids are continuing the grift. I mean, I think if anybody mentions Hunter Biden, it's a great opportunity to talk about all three of the Trump children were ordered by a court to take court-ordered training about how not to commit fraud with a nonprofit organization because of the Trump University. Because of the Trump Foundation. And I think that they're stinging from that because Donald Trump has apparently ordered Bill Barr to order John Durham, the guy who's trying to find dirt on Democrats right now, to look into the Clinton Foundation. This is the latest thing that the Trump administration is doing. Let's investigate the Clinton Foundation. There's got to be something there, right? Well, I hate to tell you, but they did this in 2016 when Hillary Clinton was running for president. Congress investigated the Clinton Foundation, and they found nothing. It's well run. But hey, that never stopped Bill Barr before. It's probably not going to stop John Durham. I mean, what we're seeing here is that the Justice Department has been turned into the punish your enemies, help your friends department. That's not America. That's not a republic. That's how a dictatorship is running, not a republic. In a republic, things are done by the rule of law. What is good for one person is good for all. What hurts one person hurts all. The rules apply across the board. That is not what's going on here.